My name is Elle. Hello. I'm from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. It's really nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, Elle. So where do you live now? You still live in Milwaukee?
Yes.
Okay.
I definitely still live in Milwaukee, born and raised. Where are you from? And what's your name?
My name is Marnina Miller.
Yes.
I live in Houston, Texas, by the way of Michigan.
Yes. Period. Okay. Home of the stallion.
We also have Lizzo too.
She from there too?
Yeah, she from Houston.
Really?
Yes, girl.
I did not know that. I thought she was. Don't be mad, but I thought she was from like Philly or something.
No. I'm very sex positive. And so my joy comes from a good orgasm. Not only that, but just...
That's a joyous occasion.
It is a joyous occasion, right? And then I also manifest joy in my community by making sure that I am being a representation of folks. Making sure that people in community know about my intersectional issues, because there are a lot of women that are just like me. And so I manifest joy by making sure that I'm advocating for my community, but I also make sure that I'm spending time with myself. And so I now know that I cannot pour from an empty cup. And so I manifest joy by getting my nails done, getting my hair done, pampering myself, loving on all that is me, and with a good orgasm on top.
Yes. For me, I think that I manifested by just spreading it. I love to help people. I love supporting and helping my family and being in a place to start doing that. And I think I do it by making people laugh. I think I do it with fashion. I think I do it just with a smile sometimes. Sometimes that's all it takes to touch somebody or to change their demeanor. Like they always say, being nice to people is off-putting almost sometimes. Like they be kind of shocked, people that they never met before, be nice to them and stuff like that. So I think those are all one way. And I think in the community and in work and my work, and over the last couple of years, I've gotten really involved with movement work. And so that allowed me to do some really, really special things, like honoring people. I'm starting a transition fund right now. That's a memorial for one of the founding members of our trans support group at home, Sheba. And just like being a part of murals, being a part of celebrating other people and history in the community, documenting it. Those are all things I think bring joy. That's my favorite part of the movement work, is seeing like the little kids like literally lighting up and seeing people that look like them and seeing possibilities in us that's doing the work.
That's beautiful, because representation does matter.
It does. Our survival is connected to Black sisterhood, and that's how I grew up, is watching my mom and my aunties take care of whole families and whole villages and whole communities. And whether that was as a foster parent, as foster parents, through ministry, or just from people that you actually related to. And I think that they were able to do that and make a way regardless of whatever system, whatever oppression, whatever abuse they was dealing with in those times, because of their sisterhood. And I think, it's definitely something that is vital to being trans and transitioning. I think that a lot of people find their identity not just because of, but by connecting with other people, and with trans women that are the leaders and the underdogs of the whole pride and trans movement. And just that we touch people and inspire them and help them to rethink their lives in the ways that they're kind of operating. And I think, again, it's tied to our survival. And I think as trans women in particular, I think we need each other to be able to survive. Like, I know that I'm safer. I know that I'm smarter. I know that I'm more equipped to deal with the things I face in transition, because I had a lot of other trans women around me, whether we was the closest or not, whether they was, super connected to me or not, we shared space with each other, and those things definitely helped me to come into my own transition.
For me, Black women have been the most vital parts of my life. Whether we are talking about my amazing auntie who is a woman of trans experience that loves me authentically, that has this beautiful relationship with my mother, or if we're talking about other Black women in movement spaces that have just really uplifted me and allowed me to thrive professionally, I think Black women have always been, for me, my saving grace. And to me, I think the Black woman is God.
She is, and she is.
She is.
Yes.
She is, because I don't think I could live on this earth without Black women and without my fellow sisters.
Mm-hmm.
And so along the spectrum, whether they identify as non-binary or if they're trans or cisgender, Black women are the shit. And they have been for centuries. Not only are they the molds for all things fashion and beauty and even body, Black women have existed in just, they have been the epitome of the phenotype for all things amazing. Mm-hmm. And so shout out to all the Black women that have loved me authentically, right? Yes. That have loved me even when I didn't love myself. Mm-hmm. And so every time I just think about the love that I've received from Black women, I just get emotional, because not only do I love them authentically, but I also date Black women. So for me, Black women are everything.
Okay. I really like that you said, like, just the love. And I think that's something that as a trans woman, we feel like not just other women, but just the whole world, like, we're socialized to think as queer people, as trans people, that the whole world hates you and the whole world is against you. But that's not always true. Mm-hmm. And oftentimes, most people don't care. But sometimes people will pour into you and mentor you and guide you. And I definitely have some really incredible, strong mentors. And even since I was like 14, I've been working since I was like 14. Almost all of the bosses I ever had was women. Almost all of the people that influenced my life and that held power over me, like in work or in school, even in retail, before I became like an advocate, all of the main people and the main bosses was women, and really invested in me. And I definitely learned a lot from the Black women that was part of that.
And to me, if you want to do something right, go get a Black woman. She'll fix it.
Okay, for president.
Okay.
In 2023. Okay. Yes. Because it needs fixing.
It does.
It needs a lot of fixing right now. Okay.
And I think, too, if you heal the Black woman, you'll heal all of the injustices that happen. Because mainly, we are the most marginalized folks when you think about any intersection. So I feel like if you give to the Black women and think about Black women in all your decision making, the world will be healed.
And that's what we say is if the most marginalized, the most oppressed of us ain't free, which is the Black woman, the most underprotected, the most underpaid, the most abused, that we would in effect heal the world, or that we would put things in place and systems and laws in place that would protect enough of us that it wouldn't be so many people living in poverty, so many people living in oppression. And doing that with women leadership is vital. One of the ways is just by being visible. One of the ways is just by wearing our colors, saying, being proud to say your identity, even when you are scared, even when it is hard, even when you do get questioned, and just kind of pushing through that. And again, being something that inspires other people to do the same and to live their lives to the fullest. I think, again, like I said, just being a part of the movement work specifically that started the social uprisings following George Floyd, just so much more, even more than some of the violence we saw, even more than the hatred that has come out in the mainstream, the hatred that we see when we talk about like hate crime and the murders of trans women and domestic violence. I think that the pride and the joy shines through all of that and still is more resilient than that. And I think we, again, do it with fashion. We do it with body. We do it with face. We do it with hair. We do it with nails. We do it with our skin and our skin colors, and showing other women that that their skin is beautiful. And one thing, people always like kind of clown on me for it, but when people compliment me, I always compliment them back. And people, again, like people always kind of clown on me for it because they feel like being nice is unsettling, or like it's sometimes from an ungenuine place, which sometimes it can be. But I believe in us. You know what I'm saying? I believe in our skin. I believe in the power that's in our blood and what we've inherited. And that we are in a time period, just in society, where we can make those changes be permanent that we've always kind of wanted and fought for.
For me, the way I manifest Black pride for myself is by being a visible representation of what I needed. For so long, we've never had many plus size girls in a lot of movement spaces because desirability has always been an issue for that. Mm-hmm. And so I come into the room as my full self, and I bring my authentically full self. The loud girl, the happy girl, the jovial person I am. But I also bring into the space my size. Like, I bring into the fact, like, I'm going to tell you that I am a fat Black woman who is queer living with HIV. You're going to hear that consistently from me because I want to bring all of my intersections into the room so you'll know exactly who I am, who my community is, who I stand for, who I uplift, and so that the girls who can't be authentically themselves due to stigma, discrimination, or other intersection issues, I want to be a voice for the voiceless. And so I make sure that I state exactly who I am when I move into spaces. And so that's how I embody like my Black pride, Black joy movement as a Black queer fat woman. And I think for like my community, when I think about like Black pride, when I think about community work, I think about all of those Black women, Black queer women that have came before me. Like, a lot of people don't think about Black Lives Matter actually started with Black queer women wanting to talk about issues that impacted Black women, and that movement had got co-opted by other issues in Black spaces, but it was first started by Black queer women. So I make sure that people know that about community and about movement spaces. And I think it's so important to uplift Black pride and to talk about Black pride because it is a movement that was started by us, that we continuously pour so much into. And I think it's important that Black women stay at the forefront of this movement, especially when it comes to Black pride spaces, because had good sis not thrown that first brick during Stonewall, we would have never even thought about the fact that Black pride got started with us. And so I want to continue to uplift all of my Black queer ancestors in Black pride spaces.
And we've been doing it.
Period.
And gonna keep doing it.
Because Black trans women are what? The GOAT.
Okay, thank you. Yes. Okay. The Black woman, period, across the board.
Period.
I think, again, the mentors and the people, and particularly the women that pour into my own personal life, even my blood sisters, they like not push me out the closet, but they pushed me to pursue my own transition. Like, it wasn't something that I maybe would have ever took the step for if I didn't have them in there supporting and continue to support me. And I think that all of those ways in community and just being family and just building bonds and nurturing them and watering those seeds are a part of how we show love. I think self-love and self-care, like you said, like pampering yourself, taking care of yourself is an investment in the long term. And, you know, we want to last, you know what I'm saying? We built to last, but it's our choices and our health that determines if we can. And so, you know, making those things be an investment in oneself is really important. I think also just because we deserve it, we deserve love and self-love and the love of others in community. And then in like terms of like love life or different things like that, I feel like just even still being in a game is being open to love and not being afraid or not being too, we all know people and women particularly that have been hurt and that sacrificed in their relationships and sacrificed in love and then get kind of stuck in a place. And so just pushing past that, even for oneself, like we all get stuck, we all fall down, we all get our hearts broken. But just to keep going and to keep smiling, to keep being open to new possibilities and love and those things, I think is a lesson in itself.
For me, Black love is, I'll speak about the platonic first, about Black love. My friendships with other Black women, other Black people in general, have been some of the best things that have happened to my life, especially within the last 10 years. Just seeing Black people live authentically and love each other out loud is such a rarity, and it's something that I cherish. And when I think about Black partnerships, I love my partner. She's an amazing woman, and our love lifts me up every day. It allows me to know that I'm not alone out here, that I have somebody that understands me, that gets me. And I couldn't think of any other woman other to love than a Black woman.
Okay. Get you a Black woman.
Get a Black woman.
Okay.
But even when I think about like Black love between friendships, I have some dynamic friends and some amazing friends that have loved me authentically. And I think that's something that a lot of people sometimes miss out on, is just real relationships. And when folks don't have those, they sometimes are not able to thrive. And so I have been extremely blessed to be able to be in spaces where I have had a lot of Black love around me. And I grew up in a household with two parents that were madly in love with each other. And so I got to see that on a consistent basis. And so from there, I've just been able to develop my own friendships, relationships, and be able to thrive in those spaces.
I think I just want to add my kids. I feel bad that I left them out for the first part. But my kids really changed my life. They kind of came into my life. One of them came into my life like platonically, like casually, and then one came into my life because of work. But they both picked me. They're both trans. One is trans and one is non-binary, and they're beautiful. And they're more self-aware and braver than I was at that age. And so I admire them for that, but they gave me something to keep pushing for, keep fighting for, during a dark period. So I just really love them and gotta keep going, for them and there are other people in the community that I know are dependent on me. So, even though that's labor, even though that's duty and responsibility, still having the love for them and then trying to repay the love that they've given me is something I think keeps us just loving and pushing forward too.
I think one of the greatest pieces of advice that I have ever gotten from anybody in movement spaces has to be authentically myself. When I first came into a lot of advocacy or organizing spaces, I felt like I was too loud. I was too proud. I was too chubby. I was too brown. All of those things that we hear about, like anti-fatness, colorism, texturism, all of these things. And in the beginning, I felt like I wasn't good enough. But once my friend Nathan told me to bring my authentic self into any room, I've been able to do that. And through that, I have been able to shine because in a lot of times I'm the only person in that space that looks like me, that talks like me. And so one thing I learned from that is being your authentic self can build you up in spaces and make you the greatest that you've ever been, because no one can be you. No one can shine in the spaces like you shine. No one can live your life. You are one of a kind. And there will be so many people that will gravitate towards your love and towards your authentic self. And for so long, I hid who I was, or I tried to dim my own light in a lot of ways. But love on yourself and know that you are enough. You are worthy. You are great just being exactly who you are at the exact time that you're supposed to be there. Because it is my thought that everybody is here for a purpose, a reason, a season, and you are right where you need to be, and be you. Be authentically you. Whatever that is, however that is, be yourself, because you only get such a limited amount of time on this earth. And so my advice would be always to be authentically yourself.
I really love that you said that you're always in the right place. I always say God has you where He wants you. And sometimes that's a hard thing. And sometimes, where we come from, the things that we're trying to get free from, the generational curses that we sometimes inherit or have to break free from, all of those things can be really, really hard. But I believe God definitely still has a purpose for us in those things. And that sometimes that the things that we see as weaknesses, the things that we see when we're doubting ourselves and all of those things, those can be strengths, and those vulnerabilities can translate and move people and touch people, especially in organizing and movement spaces. I feel like people gravitate to what's real, and they know and can decide for themselves. Just like if we was watching Jerry Springer, we know what's real and what's not. You know what I mean? And so I think you'll always get more support if you are consistent, if you are proud, if you're standing strong in your beliefs. I think that you'll always get support from those things. I was out as a real young person, but I wasn't trans yet. I transitioned later in my 20s, but I was out since like the 8th grade in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, in the Midwest, and just in general. Some of my other friends was out, but it was very much an uncommon thing. And a lot of the people that I'm in community with now and friends and people I've known for years and years and years didn't come out until much later. And so people will always tell me that I inspire people. People would always tell me that I was brave and those things. But when you alone and when you feel like you going through those things alone, that don't keep you warm at night. You know what I mean? And so just knowing that life after high school does get better. Life does get better. Again, when you met some of them milestones and goals that you set for yourself and you stay consistent and dedicated to them, even when life knock you off, of course, that there is a reward and that there is a future for you. I want youth to know that you are loved, that there is a whole community of people that is out there somewhere in your hometown or on the internet or at the LGBT center, whatever it is, that you can connect with, that will support you and help you to get not just out of maybe the space you're in or the mental space that you're in, but also to help you get to where you want to be in life and in the future, that there is a future for you, and that child, half the people hating on us want to be us.
The period.
Okay. Okay.